Reminiscing the moment I set my foot on unfamiliar ground, I am still bewildered by my first impression regarding this place. Did I make the right choice? Will I survive here? 1001 thoughts came buzzing across my hollow mind. My eyes could not stop scanning all over the place that has always been my childhood dream. I started to question myself. Will these risky choices I made will bring heirs from heaven or blasts from hell? This is my story, a story where I begin a whole new journey of living in England, United Kingdom. People often ask me, how's living in the UK? And every time I'm stuck with that sort of question, this is what I will tell them. The journey is super fantastic and amazingly beautiful. I would never ever trade the 285 days I have spent in the UK with any other days I could get elsewhere. Frankly speaking, this period holds the best learning experience I have ever encountered for the past 21 years of my life. Living miles and miles away from home, I learned to be independent. Stepping out of my comfort zone has long gone from my list of problems. Maybe due to the fact that I tend to push myself over the limit and do something I have never done before in my life. This allows me to see the world from a whole different perspective. When you live in a foreign country, the first thing you worry about the most is on how to communicate. After all those years living in Malaysia, never once had I ever spoken in full English with someone. Nonetheless, I've never felt ashamed whenever I stutter if I speak, nor do I feel demotivated whenever I have no clue what my lecturer is saying. Making mistakes is a part of the learning process, and most of the time, I'm actually not alone. Out of all the students in my course, half of them are just like me. I know people from around the globe who are willing to make friends with anyone they could talk to and getting exposed to new cultures from places we never explored. Don't get me start talking about the seasons. For a Malaysian who have zero idea on how cold winter can be or how nice spring looks like, the first encounter is unrivaled. I still remember the moment when I opened my bedroom curtain and saw snowflakes falling gracefully down onto the ground. It was like the Christmas movies I watched when I was a little girl. And when spring comes, the sun starts to shine brightly, relieving the stress I got from the long cold winter. Summer was the best season out here, when everywhere felt like Malaysia again. It was also the perfect time for me and my friends to travel across the European countries as summer break started. Besides studying and traveling, I also spent most of my time doing the things I love to do the most, sports. Playing sports here is totally different from our hometown. Rather than playing with groups of people who are generally similar to me physically, involuntarily, I have to play with a group of tall Europeans. The first time I played, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, it was great. All of them are friendly enough for me not to feel out of place, and with the great chemistry between us, we entered several competitions and got home not empty handed. I never would have thought I would be able to fit in the UK, but now I wish I could stay here for as long as I want. Of course, UK vibe makes me feel welcome. Despite all that, honestly speaking, at the end of the day, I still miss my Malaysian roots. The food, the people, the weather, the places. No country could ever replace my love towards Malaysia. Whenever I encounter a Malaysian in the UK, it almost feels like I met my long-lost relative whom I miss so much. Being surrounded by many Malaysians, whether they are my housemates, coursemates, or even university society members, makes me feel near to home. 3 years in the UK is long if I do not fill in the gap with the things I love. For the sake of our beloved Malaysia, we took the challenge to prepare ourselves to serve the nation in the future, far, far away from our home. Although our minds are somewhere off a great distance, our hearts will always be near. Kita minda global, tapi hati lokal.
it all starts with the saga, a cerita you can call your own, something that defines, celebrates where we're from. Negaraku, strongest together. Let us come see our stories with ya.
Cerita kita